So you're 30 years old, late 20s, maybe 40, maybe even 45, close to 50. And you're learning how to code and you're wondering, are you wasting your time? People are going to take you serious. What the landscape look like for somebody who is up in age and have no experience or very little experience with software development. Well, there's ways you can do, there's things you can do so that you can put yourself in a position to don't come across as being the old crummy guy who is outdated, who's just trying to find having a midlife crisis and trying to code. We got a solution for you guys. And I got 3 things I'm going to cover today to make sure you know how to approach software development, learning how to code, and actually putting yourself in the best position to win as an older developer. All right, number 1, guys, you got to understand when you're an older developer, the expectation is going to be different from you to somebody who's just entry level out of college. I know it's not right, but I'm just telling you the reality of the situation. But you can use this for your advantage as well, because if you at least done something in your life, you have business experience, you have life experience, you have situations to where, hey, I was working at this factory doing this repetitive work on this computer. I hate doing it. Is there ways to actually automate this? You have that level of insight, and now you just got to translate that into code. That's why you're learning how to code, to be able to automate some of these processes. Now you have a reason, you have a story. Now you have specifics, plan of attack to actually learn how to code. And that come across well in the interview, guys. When you're talking to an interviewer, you're talking to an employer or whoever is actually evaluating your resume or you're telling your plan to, because it's nothing worse than somebody who haven't had a job, haven't had a problem or anything, just come into software development for the money with no explanation at all, because it just looks like you're just, hey, I'm going to the next thing. I haven't thought it out. Yeah. You want to have a story. You want to have a reason why you're starting software development. And I ain't gonna lie, even if it's for the money, have a story, guys. That's the whole point. You don't want to make sure that this is not a spur of the moment decision. There's a reason behind you learning how to code, especially as you get more up in age, so that it'll make sense in the interview and people kind of know where your mindset is and know your approach, and make sure you're methodical as well, guys. We talk about this in my 7-step guide on step number 3, as far as just being able to showcase your value. And one of those things is you may not be the strongest coder, but you have industry experience and you can provide insight in the business process and learn just the fundamentals to be able to capture that data, process that data, show that data, or automate that process in a way where it resonates with the end user, because you've been there. You have that insight. Leverage it. Do not let that advantage go. You need to be able to leverage that as an older developer, and people will start to understand your approach to solving problems and things like that, guys. So do me a favor. Let's talk about your particular experience and how have your journey been learning how to code. What's your struggles? What's going on there? Give me some details. Comment below in the comment section, guys. Let's have a discussion there so that we can make sure we have discussion and send you on a path that's going to allow you guys to be successful. So let's go ahead and comment below so that you guys can actually, so we can start a conversation. I'll see you guys in the comments. Point number 2, guys, the reality of the situation is expectations are going to be higher the older you get as a software developer, learning how to code, or even applying for a job. You got to know this. You got to know you got to bring a lot more to the table than a brand new developer out in the field or out of college or out of a coding boot camp, because it's expected for them to be able to make mistakes. It's expected for them to come in with zero value, and it is expected for them to be able to make mistakes. You get some of that benefit of the doubt as well, but you can't come in with nothing in hand especially the older you get. You got to be able to provide some insights in a way that's collaborative to the team. Don't come in trying to take over anything. I'm talking about collaborative to the team. Team asks you a question, you fill in the gaps. You see, hey, have we ever tried, we're in a problem solving session or a code review and the room get a little stuck, we're stuck on a concept, you provide a different perspective. Not necessarily that it's going to actually solve the problem, but it gets the gears flowing for the team and all that stuff, guys. All of these are intangible things that an experienced developer can get, and the expectations of you actually grows, and you are providing additional value instead of just coming in with nothing in hand. I always tell you guys, it starts if you don't have a strong technical skill or technical background, you can subset that with industry knowledge, being able to identify other things that supports that software. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say you don't have to know anything about technology, but our Salesforce developers, a perfect example. You got the development console, but you also got the admin console that you can go in and create objects to. You're limited there, but you got those options. If you know that as a experienced developer or aspiring experienced developer, you can provide those insights, and then there's a good dialogue there. And again, guys, sorry, it's not about actually solving the problem that one time. It's about progressing to a solution. And sometimes as a developer, you get caught in the details and the weeds. You just need to step back and look at it from a different perspective. I don't know if you ever got as a developer, you got stuck, you frustrated, you went home, got in the shower, middle of the shower, oh my God, I should have tried this. Guess what happened? In your mind, stepping away for a while, you're looking at something on TV or something, and just by looking at something from a different perspective, you get that aha moment. Well, what if you got somebody there who actually worked for the business, can give you that aha moment faster without having to go through going in the shower and stuff like that? That's what you can provide as an older developer with experience and things like that, guys. I know I hit on that point a lot, guys, but at the end of the day, what I need you guys to do is, if you haven't already, links are below to my 7-step guide. As an older developer, this is going to be critical for you to showcase your value on step number 3, because be quite frank, if you are not showcasing your value beyond what a entry-level college student, why even take that risk? So it's incredibly important for you guys to get number step 3 right in that 7-step guide, and also our 30-day developer course, so that you can really showcase your value beyond just picking an entry-level developer and going from there, guys. So all those goodies, and then it is in the description box so that you can check those. Last but not least, older developers, do not come across as the old person who don't want to embrace technology. Embrace newer technology, guys. Learn new technology. If I had to pick the number one reason why people just lean on just getting new developers, because the perception of an old developer is, hey, I got this old technology that I'm working on, the AS400 screens, and get off my lawn, guy. I don't want to change anything, stubborn. Do not come across it that way. I don't care what kind of value you showcase, that would X you out of most situations in the interview. They would take a chance on a new developer who they can mold into their system, instead of you, the old developer, just get off my lawn, it's my way or the highway. Don't do that. There's a balance, guys. There's a balance between, hey, I bring experience, but I'm willing to change. I bring experience, but I'm willing to change. There's a balance. And then once you find out that balance, you'll find out real quickly is, hey, I see what the direction of the business is, the roadmap. And then, I work within the roadmap, learning the technologies that they're using within the guidelines. But once we hit a wall and a gap and they just need some general insights on stuff, that's at that one particular moment, that's when you bring that experience, that different perspective, to get the gears flowing, just to see, hey, is there a different perspective of this? Once you get that down as an older developer, that's your gravy, that's your balance, that's your money right there as an older developer. If you don't master this Everything else is a waste of time. And I can't go over everything in the 7-step guide or in this video, but I can in the 7-step guide, guys, in the 30-day developer course. We can have a whole video about this topic alone as an older developer, but I don't want to belabor the point. I want to make sure you are confident in applying for this job. You know how to showcase your value or approach it. Don't overstep any boundaries. Learn new technology and make sure you leverage the current skills that you have as well, guys. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe to my content, guys. I'm trying to get my numbers up, trying to do good on that, and start to spread the message, and go ahead and do all that YouTube stuff or social media stuff that you guys do. If you haven't already as well, my 30-day developer course, my 7-step guide, got all those goodies in the description box, guys. Go check those out. And I have a link to the 7-step guide here on the screen as well. So go check that out. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.